Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Stidham, and I'm joined today by the Mullet once again. Mullet Matt Rains. Mullet, what's going on today?
Tonight we got a bunch of guys, probably not a bunch of household names. We got a bunch of tough kids. A couple of them been in here a few times. Most of them new guys.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. These guys are not guys that you might recognize their names, but after tonight you're going to see these are some up-and-comers and some guys that really have some skills.
Yeah, Mike, you know, I'm actually really excited about this. We got some, like I said, we got some guys that have been in here a few times, a couple of new guys. Got a firefighter fighting tonight, you know, so it should be pretty good.
Okay, all right. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Ultimate Combat Experience starts now.
Warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight.
In the middleweight division, got a kid we haven't seen in quite some time, but the last time we saw him, he left a lasting impression. Brad Nino Greeno, good-looking kid. Who's he going up against?
He's going up against a tough kid. A guy named Andy Witt comes in here, fights every once in a while. He's a really tough kid. Should be a really good fight.
Really?
Really.
All right, well, middleweight no holds barred. Check it out.
You and I are both becoming very big fans of Andy Witt, but this Brad Nino Greeno kid, I remember him from the last time he fought for us. Very impressive kid, solid game, training over there with Absolute MMA.
You know, I actually haven't seen him fight before, but I don't really think I need to. I mean, anybody coming out of the Absolute gym's got a lot of credentials. They have a great coaching staff over there and a really stacked deck as far as the training stable is concerned.
Absolutely. 6 foot tall, 178 is Brad Nino Greeno. Now, L7 couldn't fit a guy any better than this guy right here, Andy Witt. He's a total square.
I love the guy, though. He's like the Rocky Balboa of the UCE. He's always fighting guys that are a little of his level. He comes in and he's all heart, and you know, more times than not, that's put him on the winning circle, in the winning side.
Absolutely. 6 foot tall, 187 is Andy Witt, and as you mentioned, he is the Rocky Balboa of UCE. This kid, he fights. I just love watching him fight. He's got this infectious energy about him. He certainly loves doing what he's doing. You see right there, getting a big takedown on Brad Nino Greeno.
That was in a split second. We saw 3 really nice techniques: a Superman punch right into a Kimura, and a counter by Andy to a great takedown.
Good stuff. And you see right here, Greeno, obviously, he's being very proactive with his guard. He's not just kind of hanging out underneath there, trying to climb the body and throwing some pepper and some shots to the head, trying to open something up here.
Boy, he's shifted to the side, and he's almost to the back of Andy. Andy needs to put him in the cage and use that as a lever to keep him from finishing going to his back. He's almost there.
Yeah, you know, one thing, I don't think Andy realizes that he's almost in trouble here. You know, he's doing that natural thing that people do, and that's grab onto that head and squeeze, and he's doing his best he can, but well, right there.
There it is.
He just realized, wait a minute, that was not a good strategy.
Come on, Andy, hang in there, buddy.
Yeah. And he's not just going to curl up and you know, roll over for you. He right now is doing the right thing, and that's covering up and not taking those big shots to the right side of his head.
Brad really delivering some heavy blows from the back position.
You know, L7 square here, though, he's not going to give up quite so easily. He doesn't really know the nuances of the game, but he does. He just got that toughness about him that he's not just going to roll over and play dead for you. He's going to make you earn it.
Yeah, he does, and that's one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan. He won me over in his last 3-round fight, and I can't wait to see this go a little bit longer.
Well, you see right there, he did prolong the fight just a little bit. He was in a terrible position where Brad Nino Greeno is just teeing off on the side of his head, and he just makes little adjustments there, does Andy Witt, and it just makes it difficult for you.
He definitely hung in there, and now he's in a position where he can start to deliver some offense.
Well, he threw a little offense there, and Brad.
Oh, there he goes. He's got him up against it. This is a good position for him to be in. He's got to start throwing some elbows from there. Oh.
You know, it's funny you say that. That's a good position, but that was just all instinctive. He threw him there. I don't know that that was any strategy that he employed, but now you see right there, he's kind of going back to a bad position here underneath Brad Greeno.
Well, he's earned himself a good position. I'd like to see him put his right arm across the face there and pry his head out of that headlock there.
That's a vintage signature Andy Witt headlock.
Well, I'm wondering if he's going to throw that right leg over the head and go for an armbar.
Looks like he's just want to kind of pound away just a little bit, and if nothing else, Andy Witt, when he gets a hold of your head, he's got a hold of your head.
Well, he's only got about 15 seconds to go here. It looks like he's going to make it past the first round.
He possibly will. But you know, we've talked about this in the past. When you hang on to a guy's head for the majority of the round like that, your arms are going to be rubber bands coming out in round number 2.
That's definitely a possibility. But at the same time, you know, when you're, oh, nice punch there. You got to think of the present. You know, if that's the only way you can survive, get to the end of the round and deal with those rubber arms in the next one.
Look at that snatch here at the Ultimate Combat Experience. We haven't seen him in a little while. He's given some words of advice there to Brad Greeno. I'd like to see him get back in the cage as a fighter once again. See right there, that's Andy Witt's dad. He always gets the crowd pumped when Andy's fighting. We'll be back with more of the Ultimate Combat Experience.
Hey, we're down here at the fights live at the Ultimate Combat Experience Friday night at the Club Elevate. Look at what we just dug up. Bird Dog, how you doing?
Friday. What, you want to come up on Friday? I come up on Friday and I show my face. I'm going to show my muscles and I'm going to bust you up if you come across me, you little.
What have you been up to lately, Bird Dog?
I've been getting my girl a tattoo from my buddy JR. Come up this.
Is that a leopard?
Man, that is a kitty cat. Look how sexy that kitty cat is.
I'm kind of at a loss for words here. How have things been going for you? What are your plans for the near future?
My plans for the near future is you to come and ask me how to get a tat, or to just come and see me and get the 30-30 birdie.
Does your buddy just do animal prints, or does he do everything?
He does everything. He does bird dogs, Salt Lake City. Let's get with it, Salt Lake. What? You need a scene? Get on it. Come see the BD.
When's your next fight, Bird Dog?
Next week, and the week after, and the week after. Mike Sidham wants to put me on for the next 30 weeks. You know that, and I know that. Let's see it.
Well, you heard it here first. Thanks for being on the show, Bird Dog, and much luck to you in the future.
Yeah, much love.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, you missed round number 1 between Brad Greeno out of Absolute MMA and an independent fighter, Andy L7 Witt. Now, Andy L7 Witt is winning hearts over here in the UCE just from true grit, but going up against a kid that's probably a little more, I should say, refined a fighter than he in Brad Greeno.
Certainly, and at this point, it looks like the tables have been turned a little bit. It looks like Brad's the one that's doing a little bit of head vicing, and well,
as soon as you say that, the head vice was put into place by Andy Witt. You know, round number 1, clearly Brad Greeno winning that on my unofficial scorecard. Yeah. I'm sure you agree with that. He found himself in much better positions for most of the fight, as we're seeing right here.
He's got the mount here. He's done a really good job. Boy, I don't know how much more. Great reversal by Andy. That's why I'm such a big fan. Just when you've counted him out, he comes up, he reaches deep into that pocket and pulls out something.
He sure does, you know. And Brad Greeno did everything right. He took him down in his corner, right in front of his corner, and got full mount position. Was right down those bumps.
He's on top, delivering some punishment, and there's a head vice.
Oh, the head vice again. You know, he's got to get away from that. I really wish this kid would get some training, because you can't teach the heart he's got, that's for sure. But if you got a little bit of training under his belt, this kid could be dangerous.
It looks like he's got the arm. Nope, he's got the head.
Wow.
He's got the,
We almost saw a very unlikely finish to this fight right there. Andy Witt looking for a guillotine choke, not quite getting it.
And there's where your training comes into play. You know, that's one of the benefits of training with an organization. You get, you know, when you get put into a guillotine or something like that, you have a clear-cut path of escape, and Brad doing a really good job of using that.
You know, and I've seen just about every camp around try to recruit this Andy Witt into their training organizations, and he's like, you know, I don't want to do it. I just want to fight every week. I don't want to do that.
You know, some really interesting techniques being seen here. Brad actually clubbing Andy into the fence a couple times. Very interesting, creative, to say the least. Yeah,
to say the very least. And, you know, kind of a bit of a stalemate right here, a little bit hanging on. But I think Brad Greeno might be a little tired. I saw his face just a moment ago, and it seems like fatigue is starting to set in for both these fighters.
Wow, well, I mean, gee whiz, when you throw everything in the kitchen sink at a guy and he sticks around, it's got to be hard for anybody to not be tired.
Well, right here, you see a little burst of energy, though, and Brad Greeno looking to finish this one right here. And Andy just hanging on to that arm and not letting him do it.
The arm squeeze.
Yeah, well, he's went from the head squeeze to the arm squeeze. Progress is being made.
At least he's trying something different.
Well, you know, one thing he is doing is he's neutralizing that limb. He's not able to really jackhammer those punches into the side of Andy's face like he is right there.
Yeah, he's only got 2 seconds, so probably holding that arm's a good idea for right now.
We are going to see round number 3. You know, Andy Witt, he's been minimizing damage, but he's got to go on offense a little bit. Right there, he's smiling.
Looks like they're having a great time.
At least Andy's having a good time. Brad Greeno's going, what's going on with this
there's
kid?
A cut.
Yeah, it's a cut, but it's not in a bad place, I don't think. You see Team Nino Greeno there cheering their man on. Clearly way ahead on the judges' scorecard. The big question here now is, can he put Andy Witt away?
Looks like Andy's corner has done a good job of closing up that cut and putting him in position to at least fight this third round.
Well, Brad looking for that takedown, looking to get back to the mat here. I think he realizes the only way he's going to lose this fight is if he gets caught with something kind of crazy on their feet, and so far Andy Witt hasn't been able to show that he can land one of those.
Great takedown by Brad there. Modified double leg off the fence.
And then I'm going to lay my head down because I'm a little bit tired right now.
Hey, that's one of the benefits of
being ahead.
Yeah, being ahead and being in a control position.
Absolutely.
You earn that little bit of a rest.
Right. Well, you know, and very patiently he takes full mount, and I think this is where he's maybe improved over the rounds number 1 and 2. He's being very patient here and not allowing.
Andy, get out of there, baby! Grab that head.
Just as I say that, not allowing Andy to buck him off, and right as I said that, he does. But gives up his back.
Now he's in a worse position.
Yeah.
Right out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak.
But I don't know that Andy realizes that he's in the fire right now. He's
ignorance is bliss.
Sometimes, until you get hit in the side of the head a few times, and then bliss becomes very painful.
Well, let's see if Brad can finish this time. He's got that back, and luckily Andy's, you know, either by trying to do so or by sheer force of luck, has got Brad pinned up against the fence, which really makes it difficult for him to punch with a lot of force. But now Brad very wisely moving to the mount position where he can posture up and really get some heavy telling blows.
Well, you know, if there are moral victories in MMA, Andy Witt once again is going to go 3 rounds with a guy that is technically much better than he is, and certainly shown a lot of heart. But you know, you're not going to win many fights this way.
No, for sure. And there's, you know, how much more can you learn? There's a certain point where I think that the learning curve from just getting in there and fighting, it kind of plateaus, and you do have to kind of go to the drawing board and learn a couple things.
You know, Brian, how many times have we seen that, though? We've seen guys come into this show like the Tommy Guns and guys that were just kind of street fighters that they had several fights until they finally realized, you know, it's time that I actually get some training in, and I'm sure we'll see that with Andy Witt eventually as well.
I hope so, because he's such an exciting, you know, fighter with a lot of heart. And look at that. He's gone again from a bad position back to top. Just by force of will,
You know,
by pure testicular fortitude.
yeah, you know, one thing that I can say is he's gone from he was a heavyweight, and he's down now in the middleweight division. So he's training somewhere. He's doing something to get that chub off of there, and now he's just got to
Well,
get
go on 3 rounds.
Yeah, well, every week.
Yeah, every week is gonna do something for you.
You know, a very impressive performance by Andy Witt in terms of heart and determination. But you see right there, boy, you know, even Brad Greeno, he's just too tired to celebrate right now. Clearly, he wins this fight, though. I don't think there's any question that he's going to possibly lose.
Well, it's just a
this on
testament
judge's
to how hard he worked, and he earned that victory. He definitely earned that work. Outworked, out-hustled, out-muscled.
Well, let's listen to what the judges had to say.
Wow.
Well, I'm not sure what judge saw Andy Witt winning any of those rounds, but okay. Stranger things have happened, I guess. But
Well, in the end, it's still a unanimous decision, and Brad did a really great job.
Comes away with a big win.
Tyler Ayers Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555.
All right, I'm standing here with L7 Andy Witt. Dude, that was a hell of a fight, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there was a couple times I thought you were in some serious trouble, and then all of a sudden, bam, you weren't. I mean, dude, that was an amazing fight. How do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good about it. You know, he couldn't knock me out, couldn't make me tap out. Took all 3 rounds. It's all right. I'll be back.
All right, man, there you go. Hey, there's no shame in losing a 3-round war, man. Hey, is there anybody you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank the Ultimate Combat for letting me fight, my father for showing up, and everybody who's supporting me.
All right, man, tonight you were good, but just not good enough. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Are you Army strong? Find out what it takes to be a soldier in the U.S. Army at GoArmy.com.
Brad Greeno, you're 2-0, baby. Way to go.
Yeah, boy.
Was that fight a little bit harder than you thought it would be, though?
Yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch. I just couldn't knock him out.
Anyways, bro, what's your plans for the future?
Actually, I'm getting married in June.
Well, congratulations.
I'll be at
What's your wife's name?
Melissa.
Or soon to be?
Melissa. Alba.
Hey, that's awesome, bro.
She's the loud one.
She's the wild one?
Oh, God.
All right, so as far as future in fighting, are we going to see you in here in the UCE really soon? Because I know your fans, everyone watching on TV here in Utah and everywhere else, they love seeing you fight.
Thanks. I'll try and get in here as soon as I can. Right now, I'm going to focus on my marriage, and we'll go from there.
All right, Greeno, you did it, man. You showed everyone what it's all about. Thanks for being part of the experience.
Thank you.
That was a good one. I mean, Andy Witt came out and did his thing, but Brad Greeno really did well.
Yeah, he really put the pressure on tonight. You know, that was a great fight. Did not disappoint at all.
Absolutely not. And I'm looking forward to seeing both those guys come back and do this thing again. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. Here's a name you will recognize if you've watched this show for any length of time. Jason Allguire. He's fought probably, well, a lot. He's fought a lot. Hasn't necessarily won them all, but he's getting better. Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Mike Dillard. Don't know too much about the guy, but, you know, he's going up against Jason Allguire, a guy that comes in repeatedly again and again and again.
He's fighting Jason Allguire, so you're saying he's got a chance. All right, welterweight and Holzbar, check it out.
You know, Allguire's he's a good kid. He's an MMA through and through kind of guy. He's fought 40 plus fights. I think he's won probably less than 10 of those. But you know, he'll fight the toughest guys you've got, and sometimes he'll show up and sometimes he doesn't. frankly.
Well, it looks like at least he's in shape, and you know, he's not going to have those jitters from being in there the first once or twice. And
he's certainly not going to have that. The madman Mike Dillard now, he's a guy that's kind of Jason Allguire-esque in the early stages of Jason's career. He's coming in, fighting quite a bit. He's fighting up he's fighting up in ability, fighting guys that have more experience than him, trying to make a name for himself. Now, I have seen incremental improvements with this Mike Dillard each time he's fought.
Well, let's see what happens here.
Well, that's all we can do, I guess, is strap ourselves in, and Ethan Andrews is going to get us started with a drop of the hand. And here we go, touch of the gloves, and it's time for, one of the uglier kicks I've seen in a while.
Mike's coming out in a right-hand lead, and his hand's a little bit low.
You know, it is very noticeably low, and he looks a little stiff, wouldn't you say?
I think so, but as you said, this is kind of one of his first fights.
He's had a handful of fights. I mean, he's a kid that's been in here doing his thing, and he's fighting a guy that he knows has quite a bit more experience than he. I would really like to see Mike Dillard work on his stand-up. We talked, he and I have spoken about that just a little bit. He likes to swing big, heavy punches, and I'd like to see him clean it up a little bit.
That comes in time. A great knee there, very powerful.
But not powerful enough to deter Jason Allguire from getting his takedown here. Now, Jason has changed his nickname several times. He's back to the Strangler. And
great elbows there. Jason's in a really nice spot to start raking that elbow across and trying to get a cut.
You know, and this is the Jason Allguire I like to see show up. He's active, he's doing stuff, and you know, he does have the techniques to be good. Jason Allguire just, again, sometimes he shows up and puts on a fight, and other times not so much.
You know, and I think we just saw here one of those strange kind of transitionary type things that are still kind of unexplored in the world of MMA. In terms of jiu-jitsu, I think Jason did the right thing by passing the guard.
Right, and big shots right there.
For sure. I was about to just say that I thought he was doing more damage from within that half guard, and by passing, he actually kind of slowed himself down a little bit. But here he is proving me wrong.
Yeah, then he started just landing. I mean, and once again, Jason becoming a little more of a heady fighter, lands in his corner and was getting some instruction there. And you saw that's when he started opening up those shots and threw those big punches to the side of the head of Mike Dillard.
Well, I don't know what Mike's doing here. He's turned his back. Maybe he's decided he's had enough.
Well, yeah, I think he's been stung a few times by Jason Allguire. And
he's got to do something. He's got to get his knees under him, or this fight's going to get called real soon here.
Well, those were kind of pity-pat shots, though. You know, Jason, I think if he had just looked for more effective blows, this fight probably would be over.
Good job Mike's doing a good job of turning the face.
Well, not quite.
I think he's still, even though he's mounted, he's in a much better position here than he was when his back was turned. See, his hands are at least facing. He can see what's going on, and he can use his hands and arms to defend himself. Oh, classic mistake done there by Jason, going for that armbar with a back up against the fence. He's not going to be able to.
He's making the adjustment there. He's got it, yeah.
Nice work.
That was nice work by Jason Allguire. He did make the right adjustment.
He did.
There.
He changed the angle and was able to put his hips into that armbar.
Wow, Jason Allguire, the Jason Allguire Strangler, shows up tonight and gets a big win against Mike Dillard. And Mike Dillard's got a few things he's got to go back and work on.
A heartbreaker for Mike. He only had a couple more seconds to go, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Find top name brand clothing at unspeakable prices at Big Rod Clothing. Mention UCE and save 10%.
All right, man, you get in here against a tough guy, Jason Allguire. I mean, come on, man. You fought against a guy that's got more fights than I think anybody in the UCE combined, so not a bad loss, but what do you think about the fight?
Kind of upset about it, actually. That's my third loss to an armbar now, and it's getting kind of old.
Hey, man, get in the gym, learn some defense, man. Learn that thumb out, do something.
No, I've been working on it. I thought I was doing all right defending it off, but he was able to crank it, and I couldn't go nowhere, so.
All right, man, all in all, it's a good fight. Is there anybody you want to thank tonight?
Just want to thank my corners, Trav and Yeswa, for coming out. I appreciate it. Thank Ultimate Combat for letting me fight. It was fun.
All right, man, tonight you were good, just not good enough. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Tyler Ayers Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555.
Jason Allguire, another impressive performance. Last time we saw you in here, you choked the chicken, Jay Jensen. And I'm not talking about the Baywatch choking the chicken. You won with an impressive choke. Tonight, an armbar. Are you learning jiu-jitsu?
I've always learned jiu-jitsu.
Jason, you are not the same fighter that we've seen in here before. You're training down there in Lehigh. Where are you training?
Rage Fitness. I'm not too much a Samurai X anymore, just helping Kenny out of the camp and all the guys down there that are getting ready to fight their first fight, getting them ready for it, and it's boosted my confidence, I guess.
Yeah, we've definitely seen an improvement in your fight game and definitely in your confidence. You've always been fighting. I mean, how many fights you got now? Like 60, 70. You know how to fight. You just got to get it up in here. I think Kenny and them down there at Rage Fitness, they're putting it together for you.
Yeah, they are. I mean, all the guys there just keep pushing me, and all the girls that go there and train, they push me, don't want me to quit, and I guess I can't say no. I just love coming back.
Well, Jason, what's your plans for the future, brother?
Just keep fighting, hopefully get some out of state maybe, and try a different venue and see what goes.
All right, well, you called me on the phone today. You told me it's going to be over in the first round. You were right. So you might get the nickname of the Prophet if you keep calling the shots like this, brother.
Thanks. Maybe I better.
All right, well, Jason Allguire getting a big win tonight.
I did not expect him to come out and win in the first round with an armbar, but that was slick.
Well, the word on the curb, though, is he's getting better, and certainly he showed that tonight, so we look forward to much more great things out of him. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Stick around. In the welterweight division, got a guy that we have been seeing knocking around in the show week in and week out, Mike Darcy. Who's he going up against?
He's going up against Micah Bodily, Mike.
What do you know about this guy?
I don't know a lot about this guy, but I know he's tough.
None of us know a lot about this guy, but we're going to know a little bit about him right now. Welterweight and holds apart. Check it out.
We do know a little bit about Mike Darcy as he's been fighting quite a bit lately. Micah Bodily making his first appearance here in the cage. All we know about him is he's super.
Super Bodily might get in a little bit of trouble with Greg Carpenter.
Who?
Greg Carpenter?
I don't know
Super
who that
Body.
is. 5'11", 175 is the Micah Super Bodily.
There's an LY at the end.
Going up against the cheap shot, Mike Darcy.
I can't call him that. I promised him I wouldn't.
I'll call him that. Mike Darcy's coming in with some new ink on his back. He's got a new tattoo that says Cage Fighter on the back.
I'm a little bit, I'm feeling a little deflated after the last couple fights. Every time I say that's not a good idea, the guy up and makes it a good idea. Yeah,
proves you're wrong there,
Shows you how much I know.
Well,
that's why they pay me the big bucks.
So are you saying that getting Cage Fighter tattooed on your back is not a good idea?
I'm not saying anything.
I'll just tell you, it looked like it hurt. There's a lot of ink right there, but right here, Mike Darcy coming out and showing that he really is a cage fighter. Grabbed onto the head and everything.
He's been taking lessons from Andy Witt. Grab that head, squeeze and twist.
Man, I just don't know how many times we're going to see this in this show tonight. But sometimes it works. Sometimes it pays off for you.
Certainly. He's in the head and arm position here. Let's see what he does with it.
He's going to squeeze with it. That's what he's going to do until his opponent, if he knew better, takes his back. But I guess his opponent doesn't know better right here.
Very, well, I'm actually kind of relieved. I don't know what to say. And that's probably better than what I have been saying.
Well, you see right there, the head squeeze has now backfired, and now you find yourself on bottom against a kid that looks pretty, like he's pretty physically strong.
Now, Darcy may be looking for an armbar here.
Either that or his legs are just up in the air like that. Well,
gets his guard passed. Bodily's able to get him in the north-south position here. Wrestler's front head choke. It looks like he might be setting up a, it looked like maybe he was setting up a Peruvian necktie, but I think he's just grabbing and squeezing.
You're calling this fight like they knew what they were doing right there.
Well, I definitely don't know what I'm doing, so there you go.
I don't think those guys could spell Peruvian necktie.
I can't spell Peruvian necktie. I can't even tie a Peruvian necktie.
Well, you see right there, someone's getting punched on the side of their head.
There's a triangle set up here.
I don't know that it is a triangle setup, Brian. I think his feet just happen to be there.
He's got to turn his head the other direction to get the leg across.
Well, there you go.
and now he's just using it as a control position, which isn't necessarily a bad idea. He's sitting there delivering punishment. Darcy doing the best he can to just kind of survive. It looks like is he tapping?
I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's about to get armbarred, though.
Oh, and
he's tapping now. Well, I don't think he had to tap. I think Micah Bodily just kind of put on an armbar and said, I'm done.
Well, he is done. Great fight there.
Well, he comes away with a big win, and that's why they call him Super.
Super Bodily.
Yes, absolutely.
That was a bodily function.
The Super Bodily. And Mike Darcy, you know, maybe he's got to get the rest of that tattoo filled in before you actually become a cage fighter. No comment?
Yeah.
All right. Find top name brand clothing at unspeakable prices at Big Rod Clothing. Mention UCE and save 10%.
All right, I'm standing here with the doc, Mike Darcy, man. Hey, you came out pretty good and he caught you in an armbar. What happened, man?
You know, the biggest mistake I did was went to my back, you know, and he got my back, so I just got the armbar. So it was lucky, but hats off to him, you know, we're all here to learn.
Right on, man. It's definitely a learning experience. You don't want to give up your back because, you know, if you do, you at least got to say no homo, right?
Exactly. You know, the armbar hurts, trust me.
All right, man. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Thank Ultimate Tattoo for providing tattoos for me, and thank Hardcore, and thanks to my trainer, Bazooka, and everybody that came out here, and thank my girlfriend. So.
All right, man. Hey, it was a great fight tonight. You were good, but just not good enough. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Skull Candy, the official headphones of the UCE. Check out their complete line of headphones and accessories at skullcandy.com.
Micah, you're 2-0, man. What a performance tonight.
Thanks. Could have done better. You know, he almost had me there with a chokehold and there at the first throwing the punches, but, you know, I stuck with it and got out of it, so I feel pretty good about that.
Micah. There's like 12 karate studios on my block. Those chokeholds don't work. Karate works.
What'd you ask?
Karate works. Those chokeholds don't work.
Well, chokeholds work, actually.
What?
Trust me, the chokeholds.
What about Taekwondo?
Got good kicks, good punches. I mean, those work, so.
I think you train at a Taekwondo studio.
No, I haven't.
All right, man. So what are your thoughts on the fight, brother?
You know, I thought it was a good fight. He caught me off guard there at the first. I didn't expect him to come at me that hard, you know, right off the bat. But, you know, we went to the ground, and ground game's not my strong suit. But, you know, I stuck with it, had good position, so, you know, got the armbar. So feel pretty good about it.
Well, in MMA, you got to have a little bit of ground game to go with your striking game, and you showed it tonight.
Yeah, I did. So.
All right, what's your plans for the future?
I'll probably be back in a few weeks, get another fight, so I'm excited for it.
Well, good luck. I mean, we have fights every week. Maybe we'll see you back next week.
Probably not. It's a long drive from St. George.
Gas has gone down, bro. You can't use that excuse anymore. I'm just kidding. That's still a long trip. But gas has gone down. Looking forward to see you again in the experience.
All right, yeah, I'm excited to be back here, so we'll see you in a couple weeks, I guess.
All right, Micah.
Micah Bodily wasting no time in disposing of poor Mike Darcy.
Yeah, that was a slick armbar. You know, I was talking earlier about, you know, Allguire having a nice armbar. That was nothing. That was a nice armbar.
This guy knows armbars, apparently. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Stick around. It's time for your main event, and the reason this fight is the main event is no other reason than they're the biggest guys in the group. So they're the heavyweights coming out here. George Wright, who's he fighting?
He's fighting against Dave Perry, the firefighter. So
well, there you go, firefighter and the other really big guy. It's your main event. Check it out.
I'm excited to fight in the show, and I've been thinking about it for quite some time. And frankly, you know, I'm tired of watching all the Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee gets all the fun. Jackie Chan gets all the fun. I'd like a little bit. I've been watching a lot of movies. I'm excited to see if I can't make some of it look good on in the ring. Doubtful, but I'm gonna try.
The whole reason that I'm here tonight is just we were at the firehouse sitting around, and there were a bunch of guys were talking about fights and stuff, and I've never been in a fight before, and so I thought this will be a good way to go get a good fight out of the way, and then I can tell stories when I get back too. So that's how I got here. So
my main emphasis throughout training is actually more of a weightlifting regimen, but lately I have been working bag work, just trying to get stamina up and cardio. I don't think I did enough, but that's mainly what I try to do is get my energy ability to go long.
I've been working a lot on my cardio, and the guys at the firehouse, they'll dogpile me and try and take me on and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and that's probably where I get most of my training from. And then my brothers and stuff have been fighting with me too a little bit, and so mostly just good old down home sparring, I guess, is what it comes down to. So.
Yeah, you know what? I actually just met with my opponent, Dave Perry, and you know, he's an upstanding guy, firefighter, and I'm thinking here, I mean, if this man runs into firing buildings for a living, I just don't have any hope. Why would he be scared to get into a ring with me? He's getting into houses that are on fire, and he's chosen to do that. I don't know. I'm still working up a new strategy because my old one of scare him in the ring is now gone. I don't know what can scare this man. He's a great guy. Great guy.
No, I don't know much about my opponent. I just met him tonight, and he seems like a pretty cool guy and stuff. And so, I think it'll be a pretty good match. And so, I just hope I don't have to beat his fists up with my chin. And so, it'll be awesome. I think it'll be a good fight.
You know, I just wanted to let him know, and he's standing here, so I'm not going to talk too much trash. I mean, I can see him, you know, right here, but. You know, I'm going to try my hardest. That's really what it comes down to. I'm going to do the best that I can, and you know, if I happen to be the best, then great. If I do my best, then I'll be happy with that too.
Man, the message I want to send to him is that I hope that we can just go out there and put on a good show. Looks like a pretty tough guy and everything, and so hopefully we can give everyone a good show and find out what it's like to be in a real good fight. So.
All right, Brian. Well, you know, if that doesn't get you pumped up for a fist fight, I don't know what will.
Well, I'll tell you what, a good old down-home sparring match might.
You know, this George Wright looks like he is no stranger to the weight room.
Good Lord, he's thick.
I'd be a little bit scared if I were the fireman. I might not be afraid of fires, but I'd be a little bit nervous about guys with guns that big. 5'10", 210 pounds, and it looks like that 210 is pretty solid muscle.
David Perry, you know what? I actually wrapped his hands for this fight, so I've got to root for him at the very least.
All right, well, it's hard not to root for a fireman. You know, they're good guys. They sound like they have a lot of extra time on their hands, though, sitting around the firehouse telling stories. 6'1", 205 is David Perry. And, you know, I've done a lot of things in my lifetime just for the story, and this is what apparently they're here for, the story.
Well, I have stories about things much less exciting, which is probably why my wife goes to sleep so early.
Yeah, well, maybe, okay. You see right
there? A nice 1-2.
Nice stuff there by David Perry, throwing that 1-2 right off the bat. And he used that little bit of a reach advantage that he's got, and looks like he rocked George Wright just a little bit.
It's the hand wraps.
Oh yeah.
Boy, oh, he just ate a jab.
Should have wrapped his chin, too, it looks like. Pretty evenly matched, it looks like, so far in terms of skill level. Both these guys look like they're pretty closely matched.
Until Dave got hit with that giant punch. Whoa! Lifted him right up off the cage, bounced him off. This is action-packed adventure.
Well, the action is certainly fast and furious. Not the cleanest, prettiest technique we've seen, but these guys they're coming out and putting it on for big guys. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what. From the interview, I didn't think that they'd come out with such intensity, but a nice right hand. Dave putting his head down.
Bad idea.
I don't know what he's doing with that.
He's getting hit. That's what he's doing with that.
He's going to get his head taken off with a knee.
You know, I tell you what, man, this kid gets a little bit of experience. Both these guys, you can see good things out of both of them, but yeah, they're doing some things that really could get you hurt.
George with the wrestler's front headlock. I think he's just trying to catch a breather and get his bearings straight.
Probably a good advice at this point. Both these guys look like they're sucking some pond water right there. A little tired.
Ooh, a nice jab.
Well, these guys are throwing some pretty good straight shots to start off these combinations. Then it gets a little harried after a few blows are landed.
Yeah, but they're such big guys that that jab's doing damage.
You hear some advice from the stands. Throw that knee every time he throws that head or drops that head down. That could finish this fight right here.
Doesn't take a rocket scientist, I guess.
Both these guys carrying their hands a little low now, getting a little tired.
You know, you see this a lot, especially with the less experienced fighters. They come out guns blazing for the first minute, minute and a half, maybe even 2 minutes. And then finally they settle in because of the fatigue factor, and you start to see more of a paced,
measured approach. You know, well, that measured approach right there is, I don't know that we're going to see it round number 2 there, Brian. I think we're seeing the beginning of the end right here.
Yeah, it looks like Fireman's...
That fireman said, I'm done. I've got my story.
That house burnt down.
I've got my story, and I'm sticking to it, man. That's it. I'm out of here. Well, you know, they came in and they got the experience, and this just always makes me want to say, it's probably a wife right there. You can always tell that look right there. Hey, man, you think you can do what these guys are doing? Give us a call. That's all I can say. George Wright certainly, carrying those muscles around can get a little fatiguing, but he's walking away with a big win and barely can eke out a smile right there. Can the Inferno George Wright?
Well, the Inferno burnt down the fireman today.
He did his thing tonight.
Skull Candy, the official headphones of the UCE. Check out their complete line of headphones and accessories at skullcandy.com.
All right, I'm sitting here with David Perry. All right, man. Hey, you came in here, you fought a tough fight. You know, I know you're a firefighter. Firefighters, you guys got to be in great shape. So, you know, getting in here, I saw you had a little bit of fatigue going. It's a little bit different. Does it give you a new respect for the fight game?
Oh, heck yeah, it's fine. It's awesome and stuff. It's stinking a lot of hard work, but hell, it was just fun. So, got a nice shiner to prove it. Woo! Yeah.
Hey, man, that's the right attitude to have, man. You come in here, you have a good time, win, lose, it doesn't matter. You learn something. Is there anybody you want to thank tonight?
Oh, yeah, thank you everybody out for coming and supporting me. And, hell, you guys rock. And I have to say sorry to my wife. She's probably pissed off. She doesn't like to see me get hit, but she's awesome. Thanks for coming, Kim. And I've been teasing her because she's so smoking hot, but it's awesome.
All right, man. I'm not going to say it tonight. It's good having you, man. God bless firefighters.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Are you Army strong? Find out what it takes to be a soldier in the U.S. Army at GoArmy.com.
George Wright, you're 1-0 now. How did it feel to get your first mixed martial art fight under your belt?
It was a real pleasure. Dave's a class act. I'm glad I had the opportunity to come in here. I need to work on my conditioning. That's it.
Well, you know, mixed martial arts is a sport. Sometimes you got to go up against guys that, you know, you probably don't want to fight. That guy's a firefighter. I like to see you fight a gangbanger, some dude sitting out on the street, you know, a bus ticket taker, something like that. But, you know, he gave you a big fight tonight, bro.
No, he really did. It was impressive. He fought wonderfully, so really appreciated it.
Well, you know, to get in the firefighter department, you got to be in shape, man, and maybe you need to try out.
Well, you know, I met Dave yesterday. Like you said, he's a firefighter, and I'm sitting here thinking, this man runs into burning buildings on purpose. Why would he be scared to step in the ring here? And he wasn't. He's, like I said, class act.
I'd be running the hell out looking for my Nintendo. Oh, those guys are, you know, there are soldiers here in the United States every day. But you walked away with the win. Congratulations. What's your plans for the future?
I'm just going to go out, eat with my friends, and go home to my wife and my kids.
All right, brother. Thanks for being part of the experience tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it right there. George Wright, very impressive victory in the first round there. But pretty good night of fights again. When you see these no-name fights, as we want to call them. I mean, for lack of a better term, sometimes they turn out to be some of the better shows.
Oh, definitely, Mike. You know, a lot of these guys, they got something to prove as opposed to the guys that have been here day in and day out. You know, they're coming up and, you know, they're trying and they put their heart into it. It's kind of like college football.
That's a great point, man. Mullet, you amaze me sometimes. You actually do think your thing through sometimes.
Sometimes the light comes on, the rest of the time it's off.
All right, we've got some more fights lined up next week, and we got a few guys you might recognize on the card next week. Mullet, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.
Warrior.